Okay guys, we're here on a 6 ESZ Kohler generator. Hopefully that zooms and works well. Basically what we've got with this generator is we've got a couple complaints. One was random surging and shutdown, so we've got a fuel pump. We've also got a PCB board, and we've got the connectors for the fuel pump. And we also have a leaking water pump, so let me show you guys that. See all the green underneath. Now, I told the customer about the issue with all the corrosion here, and he said, don't worry about it. We'll just do what we need to do and get out of here. And if there's problems, unfortunately, you know, we try to help everybody as much as humanly possible, but I understand that not everybody can afford to, so we will get this done. We'll start on the fuel pump. So first things first, we've got two 11 millimeter bolts holding on the bracket. So we've got one, and these have tons of grounds on them, so just when you go through, make sure the grounds are nice and clean. If you're already in here, you may as well. One bolt, set that right here. There's bolt number 2. All kinds of grounds. See how kind of dirty these are. We're going to be cleaning these up, making them really nice and clean so that there's no grounding issues. And the next thing we got to do is disconnect the fuel line in the back, so I'll get a tool for that. Actually, I'm going to disconnect this first. I think that'll make it easier to work with. Okay, so let me get something to hold those. There you go. Okay, so those are done. Now we can get to our line. Right here, so we've got our fitting right here for our fuel line. The issue we were having, so take a look at that line, this one right here, how green it was. The issue was they had no clip on here and on here. This one's nice and clean. This one has like arcing to it. And this is not a genuine Kohler pump. This is just some crazy pump. So yeah, you don't even see any Kohler numbers or anything on it. So we're going to get our Kohler pump and take a look at it, make sure everything's good. We also got to get rid of these old fittings that they put on here. These are not good. You can see this one has just been destroyed and the other one is no better. It's all spread apart. And look at this. So for some reason they thought it would be smart to just cut the old ends off because they didn't fit and then wire it twice. So we'll try to fix that as well. Fix it as best as we can. So here we'll get our fitting and we'll clean this off and we'll get going. Okay, so a little lesson on these fuel pumps here. This is the hold down device, this little piece of metal wire. When these are not put on, these two wires on the bottom, because they're straight down, will actually vibrate off, especially if you have a non-genuine pumps. The genuine pumps have knurling to them on the very end, whereas the aftermarket ones are smooth, usually, or they don't have nearly as much knurling. What you need to do to make sure that the ends do not fall off is this is properly secured. If it does, you'll have all kinds of electrical issues. You can actually melt the terminal off the pump, or you can melt the wiring. Now we've corrected the wiring. It's all heat shrunk and redone, and it's through the chafe, unlike how it was when we started. We kind of cleaned the pan up, made it real nice and pretty, so we know we don't have any fuel, so if there is a leak, we'll be able to find it. Now we just got to put our grounds back on and put our little bracket on, as well as the inlet line. And unfortunately, this hardware is different. I can't use the ends from the old pump, the aftermarket one, so we're gonna have to go get some hardware. Okay, so we've got our new Kohler pump on, all nice and tight down. Grounds were cleaned off and resituated the hardware from the old pump due to the fact that it was aftermarket, wasn't gonna fit. So here's our old pump. It had tiny little studs on it. The new ones have thick studs. We also need to get this fitting off here. It looks like a little 5/16 fitting, and PT is all it is. And it's got Teflon and nastiness all over it, so we're going to fix this. So we'll get all this Teflon off as much as we can. Get this fitting. So we got as much cleaned off as we need. Up right at the top, we don't really need it. The NPTs are a little bit better on the Kohler pumps versus the aftermarket ones. For some reason, those aftermarket ones, their taper is usually not set very well. So you want to use some kind of liquid base sealer. Like this is leak lock. You don't want to use Teflon, because what Teflon can do, if it comes off, it can damage the pump. Equipment down the line, it can clog a carburetor, it can do all kinds of stuff. Fuel line back in here. And we can get our screwdriver and tighten this hose clamp up, and then that should be it for this pump. This pump should be done. Man, whoever does this engine has just left crap everywhere. Unfortunately, this guy does not want to do expensive repairs. This was pretty much the minimum to get his generator going. That's good there. I don't like how this is. I'm gonna actually bring it up again due to the fact that there is no anti-siphon valve from the tank. There's crap laying all over the tank. It's just a fitting, that's it. And this needs to get changed. So this should get changed to a 45, I believe a 45-degree fitting. Going down, there should be a fuel filter somewhere here, and then there should also be his anti-siphon on the tank, which isn't there. So we'll try to address those. The next item is going to be the PCB board inside his box right here. So we'll open the box up and we can see what that looks like. Okay, so looking in this control box, this is basically a PCB board, and it's also called a relay board. You can actually see there's like stuff coming up on these relays since they got so hot. There's multiple kinds, so you can't just order one for this generator, so I won't give you a part number for that. But the way you can basically do this is there's screws on the back here. So we got 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, my bad. And we can actually pull it out so we can get the pieces out of here. Just be really careful not to drop any screws in the back end of the generator. So one thing I actually wanted to talk about here was this PCB board. So here's our new PCB board. Here's our old one. So we can kind of tell that the relays got a little toasty. They're a little different. You can see how contents is yellowed. They don't look that bad until you actually flip the board over. Both of these are made in the USA, but look what happens. Take a look. The actual solder lines are all coming desoldered off the board, all the ribbons. And that's something that actually does happen to these PCB boards. It's not really a generator problem. This wasn't a Kohler issue. This was more of when something started to fail on the generator, meaning the fuel pump from maybe too much restriction, it would draw a lot more amperage and it would draw it through this board. And it's not like there's one relay that we can change. No, you have to change the whole board, because even if you were to desolder and resolder the whole board, all the ribbons on the board are trashed. They're all bubbling up and coming apart. So we're going to put this back on. You do have to transfer these little studs for the PCB board. They do not come with a new PCB board. The only thing that comes with it is the board itself. Okay, so we kind of got this all back together. Put the 5 screws back in. We got the old PCB board out. And we're pretty much going to move on to the last thing on this generator, which is the water pump. Now, we'll talk to them, you know, when we can about, hey, got some issues with the fuel and stuff like that, but for now, because he's cheaper, we got to do exactly what he says and nothing but what he says, and that's it. Okay, so we'll kind of start by removing this hose, and once we remove this hose, we'll determine if we are above the water line, which I think we are, because we're way above the engines. So we should be good there. So let me remove this hose and we'll be good to go. So we need to remove these 3 screws right here, as well as the hose clamp for the water pump. Okay. And here we got our water pump. We are going to need to basically get something in here and wedge it so we can break it free, because there's no nuts or anything to break this free on. Nothing that we can do. So I'll get started on breaking this free. Once I break it free, we'll come back. Okay, so we've got our old and our new piece here. Here's our new. Here's our old. Now, the bearing housing is actually a little different. You can see, and the shafts are actually different lengths, but that's because, you know, this one has a much fatter bearing and it's a little bit different. The funny thing is, though, it's still got the notch right here, so that you can fit your gear on. So you can still put this on, put it on just like that, and you can actually get this, spin it and put it back the way it needed to be. Once you do that, you should be good to go. But don't forget, put some Loctite in the end of this. Make sure it does not come undone no matter what, because it fits in this housing. There's a cam gear in there, and that piece fits over this right here. So I also wanted to show one more thing on this water pump. This water pump has a direction. If you look, the pieces are actually offset to this side over here. This bracket goes on just like this, so our little piece right here goes towards the straight fitting towards the bottom. So if we look at our new pump, we have the fittings on this side. So what I'll do is preemptively, because you have to do this while the pulleys and everything are off, and then I'll just put one in to make a note of where this goes, because it's going to stay here. There's a crazy hose clamp on this. I'll see if I might have a smaller one. I don't think I do. Okay. Hopefully we start and have no fuel or coolant leaks. I would be very grateful for that. Hey guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Leave a like down below and, bring a comment to the table. We love hearing your comments. If you have any questions, post them in the comments as well, and we'll try to answer them as soon as possible. Until next time.